Well, I was talking about the beef box. Now we come right to the source here. Joel Salatin. This is, what's the phrase you have?
Mob stocking, herbivorous, solar conversion, lignified carbon sequestration, fertilization.
So why does this make better beef for beef? Let's go through it. Mob stocking.
Mob stocking. What that means is that notice how they're mobbed up. They're not spread all over the farm. They're mobbed up in a mob like they would be in the wild to protect themselves from predators.
Right.
So that's mob. Mob stocking, it's stock. Okay, so it's mob stocked as opposed to, you know, sparsely stocked.
Right.
Okay,
Like most farms are,
like most
continuously
yeah,
grazed
like
out
you
there.
see the neighbor. Yeah, they've got, you know, 40 head on 100 acres. You know, here there's almost 300 head on essentially 4 acres.
Yep.
For a day, one day. You know, and so you can see, you know, you can see right here where they were. Here's where they were yesterday. Here's where they are today. So in 24 hours, this looks like this.
Yep.
Okay.
And so it's better for the land, and do you think it makes better beef?
Well, absolutely. So what it does, it means that the beef is not eating grains and, you know, chicken feathers and manure and stuff like they feed them in the industry. They're eating actual, you know, they're actually eating you know, green material. That herbivore is a 4-legged sauerkraut vat, you know, and so they take cellulose and they ferment it in their rumen, and that's what makes them grow. They're not supposed to have, you know, grains and manure and feathers and, you know.
That's what they feed them in factory farms.
And silage, which is you know, fermented acidulated stuff. They're supposed to do the fermenting, not fermenting done before you know it gets to them. So mob stocking, herbivorous. They're herbivores. Herbivorous, solar conversion. So this is solar energy. This grass is 95% solar and only 5% soil.
Yeah.
And so the earth is supposed to be on a weight gain program. You know, all this free solar energy is supposed to be converted into biomass. So solar conversion, lignified carbon. We want the carbon to get long enough that it actually goes through some lignification. And the lignification changes the starch and carbohydrate balance so that it actually feeds microbes with energy.
Huh.
All right.
So you're saying the cows, most farms, the cows are eating grass that's too short.
Too short. It's like Snickers bars. It's too short, and as a result, the microbes don't fully develop both in the rumen of the cow or in the soil.
Yeah.
Where was mob stocking, herbivorous, solar conversion, lignified carbon. Okay, this is carbon. The plant is inhaling carbon dioxide, exhaling oxygen, and breaks off. That's where the carbon comes from. It's taking in CO2, inhaling, and then exhaling oxygen and breaking off the carbon. Lignified carbon sequestration, and this carbon, a lot of it gets sequestered down in the roots and in the soil structure. Fertilization, when you sequester carbon, that creates fertilization. That's the way nature. You know, nature didn't put on chemical 10-10-10
right
for a millennia, right? They used bison, wolves, movement, migratory choreography. Okay, and so we don't have the wolves, we don't have the bison, but we do have very high-tech computer microchip electric fencing, which allows us to essentially put a steering wheel, a brake, and an accelerator on that 4-legged pruner and move it with the same precision. That herd of cows, we can move as precisely around the landscape as you can a zero-turn mower on a golf course.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So basically,
first time in human history.
People eating this don't have to feel bad that the beef is destroying the land.
No, that's right.
They can eat good food and know that they're actually regenerating the land.
Exactly. On our farm at home, we've gone in 50 years, we've gone from 1% organic matter to 8% organic matter in that period of time.
And most factory farms are going backwards. Yours is going forward.
That's right.
And feeding thousands of people.
Right. And so the beauty of this is it's ecologically productive. It's nutritionally superior, because when they only eat this, the omega-3, omega-6 fatty acid profile stays correctly. This is full of way more vitamins and minerals than corn.
Yep.
Like salad bar, right? So we call it salad bar beef, right?
Yep.
And so that makes, like, for example, this beef has 300% more riboflavin than grain-fed beef.
Mm-hmm.
Well, riboflavin is the essential fatty acid that it's called the nerve vitamin. It's what calms you down.
Yeah.
And you wonder why people are, getting angry all the time and, going nuts and suicide and whatever. Well, part of it is because they're not getting the riboflavin,
Mm-hmm.
which makes the nerve endings work better.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, it's a complex relationship, but for sure, we say you are what you eat. Well, you also are what you eats.
Yes.
So
what you're eating, the beef, the eggs, the chicken, the pork,
yeah,
is eating junk. Yeah.
it's junk. It's
Like
junky food,
Hippocrates
junky
said,
meat.
the founder of modern medicine, make your food your medicine.
That's right.
That's
Make
the
your food your
prevention.
medicine.
You got billions and trillions of dollars spent on healthcare because people are trying to cut costs.
Right.
Let's look at some of these. Yeah, you can see there's a variety. There's different orchard grass, fescues. There's red clover there.
Mhm.
So they're not just eating one
That's
thing.
right. It's a whole diversified salad bar. Yeah.
I like this stuff here. Red
Oh
clover.
man, red clover.
And this also builds the soil.
Yeah.
Now, instead of using trees where the cows destroy the trees and also concentrate manure, you came up with this contraption. How long ago did you come up with this, the Shade Mobile?
Well, this was one of Dad's first big additions back in the 1960s. We built a Shade Mobile at the home farm, but now that we lease a lot of land around, we want to be able to put them on a public road and move them from place to place as we move the herd around. So we needed something smaller and modular.
Yep.
And so we started getting old hay wagon chassis and just elongating them. And we've got 3 hooked together, so we've got enough shade here for the cows, and they're all hooked together. So to move them, I just back up with a pickup truck, hook up to the front end, and the whole thing's like a train and just moves right through, big enough for all of them to have a portable shade tree.
Yep.
And that way we can put the manure and this wonderfully healing impaction strategically on some brambles, some rocks, some
Yep.
some
The worst part of the field.
The worst part of the field.
Whereas this over here, you can see a neighbor where he has his
Yeah.
cows.
And
All those
the
cows
trees.
for years just go right under the
Yeah,
tree.
and you can see the brown under the tree there,
Yep.
where the cows have been, and it's called a campsite, and so they translocate nutrients from out in the field to under the tree. Well, you want
Yep.
the nutrients out in the field where they came from.
Yep.
And so this is like a portable shade tree to be able to put all those goodies right where we want them to go, and it gives the cows a clean lounge plot every
Yeah,
day.
because you move it.
Yeah, because we move it.
So you talked about the riboflavins different. What people don't understand, most people in the city, what does the average cow, what is the average burger from a place like McDonald's, Burger King, or even a nicer restaurant? What's in that? Is it amalgamated beef from different sources? Is it downer cows?
Well, I mean, all sorts of things. I mean, yeah, the fast food burger industry thrives on spent dairy cows.
Yeah.
That's what that thrives on. There are other. Then when you get into
Feedlots. Let's talk about the feedlot.
prime beef, grain-fed beef that you'd find at like Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, that sort of thing. That's all from a feedlot.
Yeah.
Because you can't get them that overly fat on salad bar.
But is that good? Because people think, oh, corn-fed beef, that's what you want.
Yeah, well, the beauty of that is that it covers up a multitude of mistakes. This right here is like fine wine. This takes a lot of skill and management to do. To move these cows every day, give them exactly the right amount. Let them get big enough. I mean, this is like developing fine wine. Whereas with corn, you can mismanage, you can do all sorts of things, but you dump enough corn and you can make even a poor animal, put on fat.
But isn't that meat fattier that when it's
Oh,
too
yeah.
marbled, they
Yeah,
talk about marbling?
It's way fat, and it's bland. The taste is bland.
Yeah.
It's tender, but
Yep.
it's bland.
Yeah.
And so our meat actually has a taste to it. It won't have as much of the fat. It won't have quite as much of the
So you have
fat
to
in
cook
it.
it slower. If you
yeah.
get one of these boxes and we ship it or you buy it as beef, don't cook it as fast. Don't microwave it.
No.
In Argentina, they do it very slow.
Very slow. Yeah, we're the only.
Crock pot's good.
Crock pot is great. Goodness, and let it age. I mean, you can let it thaw real slow, like put it in a refrigerator and let it thaw for 3 days.
Okay.
Let it thaw real slow. That's even better. So yeah, everything about this is about slow.
Now,
it's about take your time.
Take slow food movement.
Yeah,
Now the other thing is, you were talking about this omega-3, omega-6. When the cows eat a lot of corn in confinement, the nutrient profile is actually different than grass-fed.
Yes.
Alan Nation would always talk about that.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
By the way, notice all these birds. This is
Yeah.
a good sign. They're coming in, eating
These
the
are
flies.
barn swallows,
Yep.
which are close relatives of purple martins.
Yep.
And what they're doing is they're sweeping the cows. As the cows walk, they disturb the bugs in the pasture, and the birds are harvesting the bugs. So there's a very symbiotic, synergistic effect here. If in a continuous grazed pasture, you don't get nearly the number of bugs and insects that we do when you let it develop to a lignified carbon standpoint.
Yeah, that's why you don't see that many flies. This many cows normally would have a lot more flies, but they're coming through eating.
There's almost no flies.
Yeah, look at that. So going back to the quality, you've done some tests, and they've
Yeah.
tested grass-fed versus
Right.
confinement, and they found omega-3 versus omega-6.
Yeah, well,
the ratio.
riboflavin is
Yep.
one. I mean, there's the polyunsaturated versus the polyunsaturated is a relationship to saturated.
Yep.
That's a different profile. Vitamin A, vitamin D, all of your basic vitamins. The profiles are well documented. There will be a little difference from farm to farm on that, but the the trend line. If you finish an animal on grass, if you actually finish them on grass with no grain, that nutrient profile is going to be completely different than corn or organic corn or anything.
Yeah, so even organic
most
beef
organic
that
is still
you're
coming
getting
from a feedlot.
It's still coming from, and I'll cut in some footage where you see it's just dirt and mud, and manure and muck in the cows.
Yeah, and we're out here among almost 300 head. I mean, you can see how close we are.
Yeah.
There is no odor.
Nope.
You can come out here and eat a sandwich.
Yeah.
And it's
And look
totally
how tame they are. You can tell when animals are happy when they're not running.
Right.
That guy's a little extra happy.
There's some heifers in here.
There's some females in there. Got a little calf in there.
Yeah.
And cows do better when they're. Another thing is stressed animals. The stress, the cortisol gets in the meat.
Yes, that's right.
So animals that are, you could see how peaceful they are. These ones are getting nice and slick.
Yeah.
These are
So
gonna
these will be ready to go next spring.
Yep.
So we're going to take these through the winter.
Yep.
And then when they pop in the spring, then they'll be ready to go. But they'll be ready.
What are your favorite cuts of beef? You like the ground beef, obviously. Burger.
Yeah, I like the ground beef. I'll tell you, it's hard to beat. A slow cooked barbecued brisket.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Man. Here's the thing about meat, Ty. A lot of people wouldn't realize this, that exercise makes muscles moist.
Okay.
Non-exercise, and they're moist, but they're tougher.
Yeah.
The muscles that don't get exercise are tender but drier.
Yes.
So filet mignon up here on the back, it doesn't get any exercise. It's real tender, but it tends to be kind of dry. You want to marinate it some. Whereas something like a chuck roast on the shoulder, okay, which is like the thigh on a chicken, all right, that's tougher, but it's much more moist.
Yeah.
So by by having them out in a more natural setting like this, where they actually can walk around and get more exercise, it actually moistens moistens the muscle, and it's which makes it a little more tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this has been your lesson straight from Joel Salatin. I'm gonna put a link to get a box. We're gonna deliver a box of grass-fed beef, the quality you're seeing right here. We're gonna be shipping it to your doors. So click the link up here, click below. Hey girl. That's actually a male right there. Hey. We might have an action shot here. Me running. But yeah, we're gonna be doing this box. There's other boxes out there. You can go to Whole Foods. There's good beef. But my philosophy is I like to know where it comes from, and I know where this beef is coming from. This is what I feed myself. This is what I feed, you know, my family, my friends. So with food, there's so much mislabeling, and there's so much fudging of the line. Just because it says this doesn't necessarily mean it's as healthy. I like to come out here and see the source of the beef that I'm sending you. So yeah, click the link. I've got some more information on the next page, and I've got the price down as low as I can, and you'll see the shipping costs and all that. We try to waive the shipping costs. We've got different size boxes so that you can get one if you want to just try it, test it out yourself. We've got it. We've got a money back guarantee. Get a box and the beef doesn't taste like what you thought and the meat's not what you think. We're adding chicken, we're adding pork, sausage, bacon, good chicken. Chicken's on a real limited supply because it's raised out on pasture. You can't raise like they do in factory farms. So like I said, money back guarantee. You don't even have to ship the meat back. If it's not good, we'll send you every penny back. That's important. That's stand behind what we have. And we'll put cooking instructions in there. You don't have to cook it much different. We'll have ground beef in there. We'll have some steaks in there. And then we also have an extra upgrade after you get the main box. It's kind of like a club, a food club. We'll also have an upgrade if you want to quickly, if you have a freezer and you just want to fill it up, we've got some larger options. So if you got a big family or you got an upcoming thing, so upcoming barbecue or event, you may want to get some more. And this will sell out, just to be clear. I know people say that a lot. Oh, we will sell out. There's not that many farms raising it like Joel does, like Polyface Farms. So there's definitely limited supply. I've only been able to get them to agree to give me a certain amount of beef every month. So do not procrastinate. Joel's pretty famous. You might have read about him in Time magazine. You know, he's probably the most well-known farmer in the world, and you're getting that opportunity to get the food. I own a ranch, a farm right next to his farm. So I've seen it with my own eyes. Is my first apprenticeship. I went when I was 19. I worked, raised cows this way. So this is the good stuff. This is what you want to eat. And it's funny.